Call the meeting to order, please. I'm Marion Salter, acting chair right now of the Historic District Commission. Thank you all for coming tonight. Commissioners, you have a copy of the minutes of our last regular meeting. I'd like to hear a motion to approve or disapprove.
I move to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Donahoe, seconded by Owens. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Here comes Melissa. We'll wait just 2 seconds for her to get seated. Okay, we'll start with well, first of all, is there any old business to come before the commission? I don't believe there is tonight. Okay, then we'll go to new business, 3.1, Natchitoches Picnic Company, 724 Front Street. This is emergency roof repair, and this is for, I don't think there's anything in here. Isn't it for ratification?
It is.
Yeah, this is for ratification. There is a, at the back of the building, there's an add-on type little building that was put there many, many years ago, and there's a continual leak there where they can't even finish their project until that's repaired. And so we need to vote tonight for ratification for them to fix.
So it's not a replacement, it's just a repair?
Just a repair.
It's a repair.
I'll move to ratify.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now we'll move on to 3.2 is, excuse me for the pronunciation, Mushandra Modi here.
I'm here for Mr. Modi.
Okay, would you please go to the microphone and state your name and who you're representing?
My name is Vanya Price. I'm a realtor for Cane River Realty, and I property manage for Mr. Modi. He was supposed to turn everything in. We had went to a previous meeting and was trying to get approved for an Airbnb. And since then, they informed us, you know, as far as parking, what we needed to do. But we also had to meet approval for y'all for it being in the historic district. He did meet with a contractor to get him to draw out, and I think he submitted all that paperwork in, showing where he was going to put the parking spots for the unit right now. We have been renting the unit as an executive rental, and it's done quite well for month to month, and it's fully furnished. And we've only had really nice clients that come in and stay. So there's no complaints there. This would just be something that would be extra. The unit is fully furnished right now.
Okay, commissioners, you have the photograph in hand of what has been proposed, where it looks like to me it's 2 driveways
Yes, ma'am.
in front of the house. Are there any questions concerning this application?
So.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Rock?
I just wanted to go back. I think this application should have been on the old business because it was presented to the commission before, asking for 2 parking spaces for gravel. Yes, it was. We took it before planning and zoning for a bed and breakfast, Airbnb, which under the Airbnb code, they had to have 2 parking spaces. But we brought it before HDC because it is an historic district and you guys still rule on parking. We provided the 2 parking spaces, but I think we came to consensus that only 1 parking spaces will be required, or that you will allow 1 parking space for this area. The 119 Sydney Street?
That the zoning now will allow just 1?
No, they brought it back before planning and
Okay.
zoning for a variance because planning and zoning under Airbnb requested 2 parking spaces.
Correct.
They submitted an application for a variance to request 1 because according to the emails that we talked about, we agreed that 1 gravel parking space would be approved.
Right.
So that was approved by planning and zoning, they approved
They
the
did a
variance.
variance because after discussion that we had,
That was all by email.
that was by email.
But Ms. Rock, there's nothing wrong with the request for the 2 parking spaces, right?
Well, there was an argument that it would be no green space.
That there is, okay. Mr. Donahoe, would you like to start the discussion where?
It's not their land.
Yeah, I have some questions. So,
But the land for that whole front yard will be.
make sure I understand the procedural history. Planning and zoning initially required 2 parking spots. A variance was requested to reduce it to 1. We expressed concerns about there being 2 parking spots because it would take up so much of the green space. And so based on that, planning and zoning approved the variance of 1 parking spot.
Correct.
They are now back before us asking for an additional parking spot.
No, from my understanding, I think we were
Now they're
just,
just for a driveway, 2 driveways.
no, they wanted to do the one. That's what we decided to do an email by. So we brought it back to let you guys know what the variance was for, because through email, we approved the 1 parking space.
And what we're looking at here in this photograph, 20, what does that represent?
A 10 by 20 is a required parking space
Oh,
by
those are
city
parking
ordinance.
spikes, okay, I didn't understand those were measurements.
Right, but now we're going back to issuing approval for one.
One of the two.
One of the 2. Because what we had talked about in the emails is the fact that almost the entire front yard, what is paved right now is a sidewalk.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
And so then you would have 2 slabs on, one on each side of that, and basically it's the entire front yard, which is not allowed in the historic district.
Right, I agree with that.
So we said, well, maybe we can go back to 1, and it looks like really you could get 2 spots in there.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
2 cars back to back.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
don't need two driveways. And
Correct.
the gravel is fine, it's approved within the district.
Okay.
So
we're
does that
picking
answer?
which of the 2 we want, either on the left or the right side?
When I drove down the street, I did notice not the house that you see to the right, but the next one down, their driveway is on the right.
Okay.
So I think for consistency throughout the neighborhood, it's always nice. So none of them are side by side, to keep it to the right side. That would be my impression.
Okay.
And most driveways are on the right in the district.
And you're up on the property line on the left side, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's line to line. It's
But I would
property to
almost want to
property.
leave that as green as I could
Yeah.
so that
It
you've got
appears to
some
have more
green on
green,
your
yeah.
land.
Right.
Yes, sir. I mean, it would have a whole lot more green if you did put the driveway on the right.
Right. Okay, commissioners, are there any other questions for her? Are y'all ready to make a motion?
Is that just crushed gravel?
Let me ask a question, please.
Sure.
Now,
Scrap.
the driveway that's on the east side, I'm assuming the east because of where the sun appears to be behind the house, so to the left would be the east. The one on the east, this is the one that would be removed?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. And in removing it, what happens? You'll just put dirt there?
No.
No, it's
No, it's
dirt.
dirt there
It's
now.
grass.
That's just, I think that's superficial.
Well, you'll- Got you.
It's
Okay.
superimposed
Okay,
over, yeah.
okay.
Right
For the
now, it's all
request.
grass.
Right now, it's all grass.
Got you.
Yeah, I'm confused, I was confused about that too.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right. Do I
I
hear a
move to approve
motion?
the application.
Second,
Okay, it's been, the motion is put before it that 1 driveway will be allowed. It will be gravel, and it will be placed to the, when you're facing the house, to the right of the house.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion was made by Donahoe, seconded by Wilson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. So you can go ahead and tell him he can proceed with that.
Okay.
You can, since you manage the properties.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, thank you. 3.3, Dennis Bryant. Are you here, Dennis? Anybody representing Dennis at this point? Mrs. Rock, did he know he needed to come since he's changing the color of the roof?
He should have been notified he needed to come, since he changed. It
We'll put
wasn't
it
a,
aside for right now, maybe he'll show up later. Okay, 3.4 is James Aiken, 305 Poet Street.
Same roofer.
Same, no change, so we just need a ratification for this. Do I hear a motion?
I'll offer, Madam Chair.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Wilson, seconded by Robinson, for the ratification of the same shingles at 305 Poet Street. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, opposed? Okay. 3.5, David and Tanya Mass. Would you like to come before tell us what you'd like to do? This is for 122 Pine Street. When you go over the bridge off of Kaiser, it's the first house on your right, which you can't get to right now because of the streets.
Right. I'm
Okay.
Michelle Totenbeer. Tanya is my cousin, and I was her real estate agent, and this is Tanya.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Yes, I'm Michelle Totenbeer. I said I'm the real estate agent for Tanya and David, and then Tanya is here. So they want to change the colors. They just moved back. Tanya's been away for 25 years and just moved back to Natchitoches. And so they want to change the colors on the outside of the roof. The moire black architectural shingles will be a little bit darker than what is up there right now. But there's a lot of damage, old damage that's been replaced, and it doesn't appear to be, roof isn't leaking, but it just doesn't have a good presence. So they want to replace it with the moire black. Those colors there, the denim, is what she's proposing to repaint the front doors with. And then the tricorn black is what she wants to paint the shutters with on the house. And then you should have a current picture of what it looks like now. That would be the new roof color with the sample. And it would be the moire black architectural shingles. And then here's what the house looks like now. And so the door would be the denim blue, and then the shutters would be the tricorn black.
So the rest of it's going to remain the white.
Yes,
Go
correct.
back, go back, Steve. Yeah, right there. The base of the house doesn't change. It's just the door and the
The
shutters.
door and the shutters.
And the
I thought
roof
you were
would
going
just
to
be
paint it
dark.
blue. I was going to say, oh, this is going to be.
Yeah.
No,
dark.
no, no.
Oh,
No,
okay.
door would be the denim blue.
Yeah.
And then the shutters would be the tricorn black. We forgot to put, she wanted to paint the ceiling part, the blue like you
The
do on
light
the older
blue,
houses,
yes,
but we'll
yeah,
bring that
okay.
before you next
You don't need
month.
to do that. We can
Yeah.
amend.
Yeah.
That's
It's already in the
standard. You
district.
see that
I mean,
so
can we
often.
amend that now, or do we need to come
I'll
back?
move to.
All right, yeah, give me your sample. so
It's
we
a
can-
sample, it's a color Sherwin Williams that's ever used in all of
Yeah,
those.
yeah, it's called an atmospheric blue. It's the lighter of the blues. Go ahead, Tanya.
Yeah.
Bring that to them.
Give it to Chantrell. She
Okay.
has your.
But it's called atmospheric. It's a Sherwin-Williams paint.
Okay.
So if we can amend that, would be great.
I move to approve that application as
Second.
presented with the addition of the roof, the ceiling paint for the porch being as presented.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded, moved by Horton, seconded by Wilson. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Okay,
Opposed?
thank you.
Okay, you can get started. Okay, 3.6, David Green, 550 Front Street. This is the old, what I call W hardware store when I moved here. And, yeah, no, this was Bobby W's hardware store. Commissioners, if you look on the last page of the application, you'll see the picture of the building. And then, Dr. Green, if you'd like to tell us what you'd like to do.
Yeah. Good evening, guys. I'm David Green. Nice to see all of y'all. I had a friend come by, I think in January, to do another aspect to the side of the building. Tonight, I'm just giving you the main primary colors, mainly for the front of the building. I'd like to do it all the way to the top. I purchased the left half of the building. We do share the entire top of the building. We can stop right there at the half, or I think we've already kind of discussed with the entire strip right there to kind of take it all the
Go
way.
up to where we can look at this, please.
But I've chosen a historical color from Benjamin Moore, that Lafayette green.
Right.
And then I'm going to do a off-white trim that you kind of see right there in the photo with that red anyways. It'll be an off-white trim. And we're going to open up the windows similar to the soap shop now. So we're going to remove the paint that they painted over the windows. That way those windows will be open. And then we're going to paint, that'll be green with a little bit of white trim as well around there. And then I want to do the top of the building in the green as well because it's just severely faded. So I like the idea of doing the entire building. Actually, my contractor said he was going to swing by and talk to the rest of the block as well. But truthfully, I like the idea of going all the way down. But in my mind, I did dental school in Charleston. And to me, even if we did half the building, I think it would still look pretty good because the building's kind of symmetric. So either way, I'm happy. But I'd like to take mine all the way up to the top. And then just that historical green color and then that white trim.
Are we talking about the facade, just the front, on Front Street, what are you?
Just the front. Yes, sir.
Not talking about the side right there, that where the brick is?
Correct, because there's, that was previously discussed, and I've got a few things to bring up and ask, because a few things have developed with
Yeah, I
that.
thought that we had talked about doing some, in a previous meeting about some changes on that side of the building, so I was.
Yes. So the original plan was to bring that awning all the way down, and I was going to replicate the windows and the shutters in the back all the way to Front Street. But as you can see in this photo, there are two telephone poles there. The first one appears to be just an anchor to the Christmas lights. So there's no electrical on it. The second one actually takes the electrical to the front of the building there, but we are actually moving the electrical to the back. So my electrical needs will be done, and they'll be gone. There will no longer be a need for that pole for my business. They're going to actually run it to the back, because that's what we need for the business anyways. The second pole it looks like it's still being used by the Christmas lights, kind of as an anchor as they kind of go over Front Street. So ideally, if we could have both of those removed, I can continue with that awning. But the architect, he came on site 3 times, and he said he would need those 3 removed. Now, I brought the original application that I had for y'all, because the original one, we had 2 options. One was the continuous awning coming all the way down, which is what I prefer, and I think y'all chose as well. The secondary option was to do individual awnings over the 3 windows, which was a go-around in his work, the architect's work around those 2 electrical poles.
Right.
Which is less favorable in my eyes, and I think it would kind of look better with the entire awning. But of course, it takes more work to remove those
Mrs.
poles.
Vaughn, who would he need to go to in the city to talk about the removal of those 2 poles? Who would that, what department?
I know we need to talk to utilities first, just to make sure that they don't need those poles.
That's right.
And then if they say that they don't need it, then there's no permission from anybody.
Oh,
Let
okay,
me
once
ask
the
you-
electrical is moved, because all of his electrical is going to go to the back. So he just needs to find out if there's other electrical.
Correct.
That's going to that. So who would he talk to?
Utilities, Tim Tusick, in utilities.
Tim Tubry?
Tusick, he's the new director.
Okay,
Okay, can you get the information for him?
We can.
that'd be
Okay.
great. Thank you.
That will take care of that.
That's right, on that second pole, am I not seeing that there is like it looks like an apparatus, like a transformer behind there?
You can
Is that
see it
not-
in this picture right here.
Yeah.
You can look on
Yeah,
your
there's something up
application.
there, I
and see
can't tell
it.
what it
Yeah,
is.
it looks like that of a transformer or forward cable or something.
Yeah, and it looks like the only service it's providing is to that front part of the building. So I don't think any of the neighbors there are getting their
But at
electricity.
this point, you don't want to touch the paint on that side.
Correct.
Until that is all rectified.
Correct, I'm not going to touch that paint. I'd like to, but I'm not going to touch it until we solidify what we're going to do with it. And
Okay, so
I,
we're just talking about the front. Now, Commissioners, while we're talking about this, I went out and visited in the audience before, since the gentleman is here to talk about the next business where the frame shop used to be. He wants to do some painting as well. So it brought up the fact, do we want the entire upper facade painted all the same color? And so it involves not only the soap, but also the Cane River Realty. And you're here with Cane River Realty, and I believe they were saying that you would talk to Mr. Norman about that, to see if he would be agreeable to go ahead and just paint that whole thing once they start redoing the old W building.
Let me ask you this, do you own this entire building?
Yes, he does, and that's the deal.
You own it?
where my business is going, yes. So I own half of that building with the facade,
Okay,
the left
so-
half.
All right. that-
So you see where this is coming in, Jerry?
Up to the old frame shop.
Correct, correct. And so we were just trying to get it, under one color to make it unified, but still underneath it, you have your individual businesses with their own color palettes and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I would much prefer the top awning to be the same color.
So that's something that hopefully will happen. But for our application right now, though, for David, the fact is that it's just his building right now. So everybody understands that. I do have one question for you, though. You were talking about the white, kind of where the red is on the building for your windows. What have you decided to do on the front doors?
I believe the front doors are either going to be the green or we're just going to leave them wood. I think they're just going to scrape them, leave them. I think they found an old photo somewhere where it looked like it was just original wood.
Right.
So if you'd like, I can bring that back in August and see what the architect has designed, because I honestly haven't
We
gotten
do
that.
need to address that.
Okay.
So if you would come back once you've kind of decided on
Okay.
that, we do need to know.
Yes, ma'am.
Because that is an important feature. of the old
Yeah.
doors.
And it appears blue there, but it's actually faded green. So that if you look at the top, it's actually like pretty close to that Lafayette green.
Okay.
So it's just has faded through the years or decades. So,
Probably been 30 years since.
yeah.
Yeah, really.
Well, I moved to approve the application.
Okay, wait, a minute. There's two parts to the application. The second part being his signage.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you look on page 3 of your application, this is where he has the rendering of his drawing, and it will be hung with 2 single chains like everything else, double-sided, and his colors there are the green and the gold. And my question I have is the lighting that you want to do on your sign.
Yep.
Do you know what that will be and how it will be installed, how large it will be, that sort of thing?
It's two base, it's actually, they have the lights there now. I don't think they were angled in the correct location. But we'd basically be going back with very small lights that just
Right.
light the sign in the they're just
That
on
will
either
just
side.
Right
And it-
into the signage.
Right
Okay,
at the
just wanted
signage
that
only. So
So they're
clarified.
already there.
They're already there, I would just
Okay.
redirect them onto the
This is
I
sign.
know a
not
couple-
pointed directly where you want them pointed.
Correct.
A couple of businesses have them, but I just wanted to make sure it was all, we're all under the same,
Mm-hmm.
we all understand one another.
Yes, it would not be like an illuminated sign or anything like
Okay,
that.
commissioners, do you have any questions for him as far as his signage goes or anything else about the painting for the building?
I moved to
Okay.
approve.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been motioned by,
Jared.
thank you, Donahoe.
Can I bring one more question about the building? I brought an old photo that I'm going to bring over so you can start to look at it. My apologies for not bringing multiple.
Okay,
If the side of the building, I'm willing to wait how long it takes to do that awning, and hopefully we can get it figured out. But as a backup, long-term, let's say that I just can't do the awning for whatever reason. We have this old photo of the W building where it says W ready to wear. And I know this is kind of like a topic, whatever it is. But this is obviously a pretty unique historical building. And it's one reason why my wife and I are bringing our family back to Natchitoches. It's just because of the value we see in the city and obviously our time that we've spent here. But what I would like to do is if this would be a backup plan. If the awning with the poles and stuff just cannot go through. We don't have to vote on anything tonight, but what I'm proposing with this photo is instead of saying W's ready to wear, I'd like to put greens ready to smile, but it would be the same exact style, like same outline, same everything. So I think one, it'd be kind of a cool thing for downtown Natchitoches, because when you go downtown, everybody's in a good mood. It's for a festival, things like that.
that's one of the sticky points.
Yeah, and I just wanted to bring it to your attention, but as a backup, I think it'd be a pretty unique thing. I think it'd be very historical.
Yeah,
And the only reason to be a backup is if we go through with the original plans that have been approved, there would be a window
Right.
there, so I wouldn't do it.
right, I understand.
But I would only have those windows if I could put the protective awning over it, otherwise, to protect the rain.
understand that.
And so that's kind of where I was like, okay, well, if we, just as a backup, I just want to bring this to your attention that,
Okay, well, let's just keep that on the back burner
yeah,
until we know exactly what's
I
going to
think
happen.
we'll do
with those
whatever we can
poles.
to try to help you get those poles
Yeah.
moved.
okay,
Because I think that would be a beautiful addition down the side of the building.
yeah, okay. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, that was common back then. Okay, it's been moved by Horton, seconded by Donahoe.
Yeah.
Was that correct? Yes,
Oh, yes.
yes, reversed it maybe. For his signage and for the painting, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Okay. Then you're good to go with the painting and and your signage tonight. And then, once you figure out on the poles, you can get back with us on that and the color for the front door. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're going to go back then to 3.3, Dennis Bryant, 210 Jefferson Street. Dennis, if you'll go to the mic, please. And tell us what you'd like to do.
Need a new roof, got a bad leak, windstorm, so we replaced with architect shingles. let's see, Weatherwood,
The Weatherwood Moray,
yeah,
yeah, which is that,
right.
the blacker. And y'all, this is the house on the corner of the bridge of Pine Street and Jefferson. And right now it has kind of a reddish brown roof on it. So just so y'all be aware.
It's gonna look so much better with the
Oh, I can't wait.
And then if we ever do the paint job,
Yeah,
we had talked about it.
yeah, we're gonna stay the same color if we do, you know,
Yeah,
I'm working my way around.
Sure, I know.
Same-
We're
same
not for
color.
right now.
Same color.
Move to
so,
approve this application.
Second.
okay, it's been, motioned by Fortin, seconded by Wilson, for Weatherwood Moray roof replacement. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, Dennis.
All right, thank you. Sorry I wasn't here, but I think my contractor was supposed to be here. I had no idea I was.
Okay, thank you for getting here, appreciate it. Okay, let's see. We are going to amend our agenda, and it's actually under other business. 4.1, Mike and Kim Warhol. If you'd like to take the stand, please. And this is for 558 Front Street, which is the old frame shop.
Right.
Would you like to tell us what you would like to do, please?
Okay, what we'd like to do, and we've got it presented to you, is a new sign that is actually right in line with the frame shop sign is going to replace. And then we want to change the paint to Templeton Gray. And I believe you've got copies of all that. And the email copy may not have come through on Templeton
Yeah, it looks
Gray.
green,
No, that's
so-
not.
But it's not, it's
that's
a
not
gray, and
right.
he wants to paint this. Actually.
And
this
I've got
color
a
is
second
gray.
email that I sent that would have had the correct.
But I know that on his, you have the correct copy of the paint. So it is a gray paint. And then keep in mind, Commissioners, too, that if they talk to Mr. Norman and he agrees to paint the top, that it will also blend with that gray as well, the greens and the grays. Do y'all have any questions for him or anything?
Actually, that'll match.
Mhm, be very nice.
If you went on the top with the green, if it went all the way across, it would match.
Do I hear a motion?
Second motion.
Okay, it's been moved by Donahoe, seconded by Robinson. All those in favor, say aye. 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 All right, you may go ahead and get your sign.
Thank you.
And get her up and going.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners, we are going to add under old business, or other business, excuse me, a 4.2. And I need a motion to amend the agenda for the Evans, Sidney Evans.
Madam Chair, I will move to amend the agenda to include Evans Family LLC as one of the applications, or new applications for this month.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to add the Evans Family LLC to our agenda. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, opposed? Okay. Sidney, would you like to tell us what you'd like to do?
So, that, the house at 501 Williams is the old Robo House, which Evans Family LLC has purchased about 4 years ago. And Mr. Robo was still living there till he passed. But no, it's 50, 60-year-old house. It's got old wiring, and we're redoing some redoing the kitchen, redoing the bathroom. The windows are all aluminum windows, and they're one pane, so we wanted to replace all the windows with more energy efficient windows. And the ones that are in there are pretty bad. Do you have any pictures?
There's, this is what we have, is this right here.
So these would be old windows. And similar size-wise, single pane, single windows, and bars.
The bars, you're gonna take the bars off the windows? Okay, good, that'd be nice. And you're not doing anything with the wrought iron or anything like that?
No,
That has to stay, yes.
That's all staying white.
Okay. May I keep this?
Yeah.
Okay. And these are,
Then we're not gonna
what
have-
brand, do you know?
Showcase is the brand.
Showcase is the brand,
We're
okay.
not gonna have no lights, individual lights, it's just gonna be solid paint. Down at the
Just-
except to add one
Well, you know, one thing with the Historic District Commission, windows are a very important part of the facade of a house. And for an example, the Methodist Church, what we just did down there, they had those, we went and measured the panes individually, and those were built to resemble the old, those were actually iron way back when, because they were the crank windows from the probably 50s. So we would want this to mimic, I mean, the new windows to mimic this, what was on the house originally.
I don't know that those were original, because that was aluminum.
The ones
That's
that
true,
are up
that's
there
true.
now are aluminum?
Yes. I think-
So
That's
they've
why I don't
been
think they were
replaced,
original. I
yeah.
think they've been replaced.
That's right.
With the Robos, I would not guarantee they've probably been replaced, but that's what I'm saying, I don't think you're dealing with original windows.
Yeah, we're not, now that I'm looking at the house, the other part of the house. Yeah, that's weird, that's
See, if
kind
you
of
look even
weird.
on the side, the pictures that you have on the side, that window is not original, that was put in. So it
Yeah.
tells me that they all kind of are makeshift over
Where's the
the
side?
years. So whatever you do is gonna be better.
Yeah, it's gonna be an
Yeah.
improvement.
So, there were awnings over
Across the window, I
windows.
remember as a child,
We had a guy refreshing the paint, and they were falling apart, so.
just took them down, and not replacing it all.
Yeah, I don't like that
So what are you
line
replacing the
between
windows with,
there.
wooden windows?
So it's gonna be like this, just double.
Yeah, exactly, I mean, against that tonight wood frame, that would be,
It's aluminum, but it looks like.
It's aluminum, but it looks like the wood, that, yeah, it looks like the
So you're
wood.
doing the same thing they did at the Rogo house across from me. Those look wood, but they're.
Right.
they're-
Just like my front windows.
Yeah.
Right, right, but no mullions, just flat, okay. Okay, sure. I'm,
Those little strips.
oh, yeah,
I don't know what those.
I think that,
stripes
like I
are.
said, when they put those windows in, those were probably just thrown in there without any thought.
Okay, are you doing any exterior painting or anything like that? Okay, everything is. Okay, and this is all the way around the house that you're, okay, all the windows around the house.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, it's been, Commissioners, do you have any other questions first?
No.
For Sydney, okay. It's been, thank you. I lost my train of thought here, I'm so sorry. It's been moved by Horton, seconded by Robinson, for the replacement of all the windows at the old Robo House on Williams Avenue. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, Sydney, you can go ahead and get that done.
Thank you.
All right, is there any other new business to come before the commission?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Sure, go right ahead, David.
Thank you all. David Green again. Thanks for your patience. I just texted my contractor. I do want to replace the roof as well. So do I need to, I know the name of the color. It's just matching the existing color. And so he's got it. Do I need to resubmit that at the next meeting?
Okay, it's a roof replacement,
Just the shingles?
just the shingles will be just like it is.
Yes.
You may just file that, you need to make a new application,
Okay.
file it with the office.
Okay.
And that's something that can be approved in-house.
In-house,
Yeah,
okay.
because it's the same shingle.
Okay. Okay, I'll take care of that. Thank you.
Be sure and let her know the shingle and the color and all that
I've
sort
got
of
it.
thing.
I'll give it to you.
Do you have an extra copy of that picture that you brought up here?
I'll give it to you.
I'll keep it, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Look at it.
Yeah, that's a really interesting
It is a
picture.
cool picture.
All right, we're moving along to announcements. And Mrs. Rock,
I don't know if I need to read this aloud from Ms. Sharon.
yes, you do.
All right,
Please.
so as of July 7th, 2025, Ms. Sharon Hagan wrote to our office, "Dear Ms. Rock, please accept this letter as notice of my resignation from the Natchitoches Historic District Commission effective immediately. It has been an honor serving as a member along with so many other dedicated citizens of the city of Natchitoches. I am sincerely yours, Sharon T. Gahagan."
Okay, thank you. As everybody knows, Mrs. Gahagan moved back in December and made it permanent in March after they sold their home here. So she is now living in Houston. So, Commissioners, this normally happens in June when we elect or re-elect a chairman for our commission. So it now comes up before us now.
Back last, I want to say June or July, when Ms. Gahagan took a leave, if you want to call it, because they were debating on moving, and I had nominated Ms. Salter to be the acting chair, and she has been since then, and I served as her vice chair. Madam Chair, from the commission, I don't see any need to make a change. I would move to accept Ms. Salter as the permanent chair of the Historic District Commission. Thank Ms. Gahagan for probably 35 to 40 years of service in her role as chair and as a member of the commission.
Are there any other nominations? from
Yeah, I
the
would
floor?
move to nominate Steve as the vice chair.
Okay,
So I'd make a motion. I guess we could do it in one motion. I move to make Ms. Salter as the permanent chair and Steve as the vice chair.
I move that we close the nominations.
okay. Any other comments from anybody? Okay, the motion has been made by Mr. Donahoe that Marion Salter, myself, become the new chair of the commission, and that Steve Horton would remain as vice chair. All those in favor say aye.
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 I also think it would be
Madam Chair,
appropriate
do
if we,
to respond to her letter resolution, do we need to accept that? Appropriately?
I don't think so.
For minutes, that's not important.
She read it.
We certainly can add that as a motion to.
If we want, yeah.
Prior to nominating, that, Mr. Wilson, you want to make that motion and I'll second it?
Okay.
To accept her resignation as presented,
that's probably right.
and then all in favor?
Madam Chair and members of the commission, I do move that we accept Ms. Gahagan's resignation per the information given to us today.
And I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that the commissioners accept Sharon Gahagan's letter of resignation from the commission. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
I would just suggest maybe that on behalf of the commission that we make a request to the mayor and the city council to issue some resolution, a proclamation thanking Sharon for her lifetime of work on this
Yeah.
commission.
She
and
has been
committees.
instrumental in a
I mean,
lot
you
of.
can go back and look at the date, but I want to say she may have been on the commission when the commission was formed, but I may be wrong, but that's easy search. But I know she has been the chair since I've been on it, and I came on the commission in 1990.
So however, we can communicate that to the city council. We think that'd be appropriate at the least.
All right, is there any other business to come before the commission? Do you have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded for adjournment. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Aye.